the Football Pod on Off the Ball in partnership with AIB, proud sponsors of the Football, Hurling and Camogie All-Ireland Club Championships. Hashtag the toughest.
Hello there, and you're very welcome along to the Football Pod with Paddy Andrews and James O'Donoghue. We had to gather on this Monday after such an important weekend in football. Paddy, I'm going to come back to you in a moment. I'll ask you how you got on this weekend. But James, I'd like to get your take early doors. How are you? On what you made of the weekend that we just saw. The storm actually impact your weekend?
It didn't. No, not one bit. I didn't see much of it. I enjoyed the football, but there was a lot to digest. I'm in favour of changes. This weekend, it seemed like there was a lot going on at times, which was tricky. I thought the ref was involved a lot, especially on the first night. And I suppose that's because it was the very first run out. You also have to say that, like Forker said in his interview, the players had no time to get their head around this new system or new rules or train for it. So the fact that they had no time to train for it, it's mixed teams in terms of the counties. How can you get a real feel for these rules when it's not do or die? Because I always say GA is nothing unless it's all on the line. And you're defending for your life, you're attacking for your life. So that wasn't on show. So it was hard to get a full grasp of what was going on.
We knew this going in, James. We did.
There's a couple of things I'm definitely all for, and there's some things that I would like that didn't go through. But I think that the general feeling around the place is, lads, we've one chance to get these in now, or we have 5 years. That's the bit of the issue. So I wonder, will they just try and take forward the successes, or are they going to go with everything?
Okay. Well, before I come to Paddy, the Football Review Committee are meeting tonight, and they're going to iron out maybe a couple of little kinks that they would have learned over the weekend, as they've been doing throughout, and they've been very transparent about this. They're not proposing that this is going to fix everything, but they are proposing that this is what we should take a chance on and trial throughout 2025. So, James, before I ask you what you liked, did you see a marked improvement between Friday night and Saturday night in terms of the players are a bit more used to it? They probably had a couple of pints together the night beforehand, a bit of a chat. Maybe the teams were a little bit better matched, so they're a bit more competitive. Did you see an improvement in terms of how they played the game, the rules, the flow, the systems?
I did. Definitely the second day was better. Second evening was better, definitely, because I got a bit of a grasp of it. As you said, you're playing with a completely new team. I'd say some of them don't even know each other's names.
Definitely in Leinster. Definitely in Leinster, I think that probably
Leinster was a ropey performance, on the first night.
In fairness, Porrick Joyce nearly ruined the whole thing. He picked a team full of Division 1 players against a Leinster side that, in fairness to Dessie Dolan, he was sharing the love, He was sharing the love of it. So, James, go on.
Yeah. No, we'll say it for what we like, but the things that I would change straight away is I don't like the 4 points for a goal personally, because I think it devalues a 1-pointer completely. There's going to be nobody kicking a point, but they'll nearly solo it back out past the arc to go for a 2-pointer.
Or a 2-pointer.
To go for a goal. A 1-pointer, it's just going to be, it's worth nothing. A 1 point is not going to be worth enough to be going for them for the whole game. So that's kind of the first thing that I would change personally.
But would you go back? Would you get rid of the 2-point arc then and just have normal scoring?
No, I definitely, the 2-point arc I really like. I think that it promotes kicking, it changes defensive attitudes. They have to push out.
I like it.
They can't be just minding the scoring zone. They have to push out and spread.
So you have 3-2-1.
Revolutionary. I would have 3-2-1. Yes, I would have 3-2-1.
And what's that then?
3 still a lot. 4, Paddy, is reckless.
Yeah.
4 is
it's a big swing. It's a big swing.
It's a massive swing.
But would you not find, Paddy, I put this to you, right? So I was speaking to Jim Gavin Friday night, and after the games, I actually have it in my bag here. I'll dig it out. I'd drawn out a shooting map, right, of where the shots were taken from Connacht, and I showed it to him, and I said, "What would you have said to your Dublin team if they were taking shots from here?" And I'll get it for you now in a second. And he laughed, and he's like, there was no value in taking shots from out there before. So we programmed them to take shots from, inside a certain percentage zone. But now that percentage zone is going to change all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And that's what we saw. Like, did you
But that's what they're trying to do.
did you
But
see Aidan O'Shea's buzzer beater from the left touchline? And I know it's an exhibition game, but that was a moment that, imagine we saw that in an All-Ireland final, a buzzer beater from 2 points to win it. And we kind of saw it in the final, James, in the last minute, the goal, the 2-pointer to get it back. It was class.
No, it was. But you're like, the thing about the attack is you're going to bring so many players into the attack because fellas are going to have to stay outside the arc. They're going to be patient in attack and swing it over from nice areas. Whereas before, everyone knew how the attack was going to go. You're going to work it into the top of the D and try and chip a handy point. Those scores are going to be gone because they take too long and they're worth nothing. A 1 point is going to be dead. The other thing that is going to be an issue, and they'll probably tidy it up this evening, is the punishments. The punishments are very harsh. Like if you bring the you don't have enough players back, they bring the ball all the way in for a tap over free for a score. I mean, that's a big punishment. So is the 50 meters all the way up the field. I think that might start actually, as you said, kind of sorting itself because fellas just won't give out about anything, so that won't come into it. But to give a point away, again, it's like it devalues the point.
But James, like, we have to look at ourselves here and ask ourselves the question. Is this something that we want to clean up in the game? Do we want to change the culture? And we all do it. We've all done it. Like,
definitely the dissent.
I've got better. I've got better about it. I wasn't great when I was younger, but like the yapping, the dissent, the questioning, it's a scourge across the country, and refereeing is not appealing for it. Like, if this worked, it would make everyone's talking about how complicated it's going to be for referees. If this worked, it would be revolutionary in terms of the manner in which the game is played.
Yeah. No, I definitely 100% agree with the dissent one. It is a harsh punishment. It is a harsh punishment. No, I'm saying that it's a very harsh punishment to go all the way up 50.
Yeah.
50 meters.
But if you don't bring it up 50, well, there's no point to it. You can just foul on the full forward line and then you get away with that. Like,
the tap over free one is the main one that's a bit much for me because, again, it devalues the 1-pointer. You're basically just handing someone the ball to tap over the bar.
Well, I'll tell you what I think. Okay. And I'm not sure what the answer is around the 4-point goal, but I'll tell you what it does devalue. It devalues the fisted point. And I would have thought you would have been all over this because Enda Smith was saying it. Colin Collins, James Horn were saying it afterwards. Players are going to have to now think to themselves, why did I just fist that ball over the bar? I could have.
If you're that close, you try and pull the trigger.
Exactly. If I take 4 shots and I score 1 of them, I get 4 points. I fist the ball over the bar. Do you know, like, why would you take that option? So it's going to change the mentality of the way we're thinking. And I get what you're saying about lads running out of the arc and then taking a shot. I'm not sure that will happen because I do think a point is still going to be valuable in championship football, right? The question I'd have, and I don't know the answer to it, is if it's a 1-2-3 system, is the goal ever going to be worth it?
It
2
is
points. Does it not weight? Does not put so much more weight on the 2-pointer? Like, is there anything better, James and Paddy, than scoring a goal in Gaelic football?
No, it is the greatest feeling. There's no doubt about that.
Come on,
I am
James,
all for goals. But the argument is, and again, I'm positive towards these rule changes, but I suppose we're just trashing everything out here.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, with the new rules, it's going to be easier to score a goal because there's not as many bodies back. Okay, so it's going to be easier to score a goal and it's worth more. Do you know what I mean? Which is like a double whammy for the defence.
The rules definitely are in favour of more attacking football. It favours forwards. If you're an inside forward in the game, you are hanging your hat on these rules coming in. What was the remit here? All 7 rules, when they're explained, they totally make sense. I can see what they're trying to do with that. The reality is, over the last 15 years maybe, Gaelic football has just been getting steadier and steadier into decline in terms of entertainment. It's lads, how many games have we been on in the last couple of years? That is a terrible game of football. Terrible. So these rules, I would say there's definitely a will that Gaelic football needs to be fixed. It has to be tweaked. It cannot keep going down the same road it's going down. Every one of these rules or enhancements, as they're called, makes sense. But they absolutely favour the attacking team. But that's what they want. They want more scores. Look at the scoreline on Saturday night in the final. Like, I'm sure we watched I watched the Dublin club final yesterday. Jesus Christ, it was for 50 minutes, a hard watch. And it's like, if you have a choice, there was a brilliant finish. It was same as we say this all the time.
The conditions too. Yeah.
I get that, T, but like we're talking about for the last 10 years, we're seeing so many games like this. Risk aversion, mind the ball, Jimmy's favourites. These rules were brought in to get away from that. They are meant to be drastic. They're meant to change behaviours.
Yes.
Because it's gotten so stark, I think there's a universal acceptance that things need to change now. And the GAA trying to get things through Congress or rules changes. The GAA is an unbelievably traditional organisation. It takes so long normally to get any sort of proactive, positive, modern change. But I think these have a chance. The drawback, I'd say, and agree with you, James, and we spoke at the top of the show, like that's all we're going to see them in the public. Like, is that really 4 exhibition games with teams that have really thrown their arse at, like they're pulled together a week beforehand? Players don't even know each other. Is that a true reflection of the levels that these changes can make? Colin Collins, I see that you were talking to, was it you, Tommy, or you was talking to someone on Off the Ball? Like, wait till teams really go after these.
Wait till coaches get their paws.
All the coaches, all the players, and they know exactly what they're at. I thought Friday and Saturday night gave us a flavour of it. I think some of them are big. I think we said this a couple of weeks ago. 3-on-3 inside. That is a fundamental change. And you could see, particularly on the Friday night, players just weren't used to doing this. They've had years and years of playing a certain way and getting their first goal in Croke Park. They weren't used to dealing with it. It's a massive change. That one, more so, like there's some that are kind of the catch and go. I don't think that's going to make a massive change in the game go forward. So the solo and go from a free, the throw up 1-on-1. Okay, again, I can see why that's come in, but it's not a massive change in the game. The 3-on-3 and the scoring system, they are fundamentally different to anything we've seen. Will they all get in a month's time?
But
what do you think?
Well, and I've asked this question quite a bit, and I think before we went into the weekend, I was excited about the scoring arc, right? During the weekend, to me, the 3-3 structure, I had an unbelievable view. I was in Croke Park.
Yeah,
how good it looks up there in Tier 7.
Yeah.
I had the perfect view, and you could see the potential here. And all this gave us was a glimpse of what football could look like. I was at an intermediate final in Navan.
Oh, come here, Tommy. That's what football was.
Yeah.
10 years ago.
No. Was it?
Like,
was it? Yeah.
Maybe 20 years ago. 20 years ago.
10 or 12. There wasn't
2014, James. 2014.
Yeah, you definitely leave 3. Do you know what I mean? You would you'd leave 3 up.
But
this
the problem
is only a newish problem.
Galway Donegal in the semi-final this year. There was like gasps in the press box because Galway were actually leaving the forwards of the pitch.
3, yeah.
No one could believe it. The whole place was like, is this for real? They're keeping their forwards up. And of course they're fucking keeping them up. Shane Watts, Damien Comer, Rob, why would you not? But that's how mindsets have been changed in the game. What do we're forwards on this. There's a caveat here that if these changes come in, they absolutely favour forwards. We'll see far more scores. That's what the rules committee, that's what they want. That's what they're promoting. Is that necessarily better than brilliant defensive systems and all that type of stuff? I would say, yeah. I would prefer to see more of that than what we have over the last number of years. But I'm absolutely certain there's people around the country who'd say, I don't want this to be a basketball shootout. I
fully agree.
Our defensive coaches, our defenders. Listen to Aidan Forker. If you're in the full back line, you are sitting there going, do not fucking vote for those changes, lads. We are under pressure. So it's
I don't like that. I don't know, because the man-to-man defending is an art form that is dead.
Yeah, but loads of defenders over the
currently.
last 10 years have been stealing a living because they don't have
St
the man mark.
couldn't agree more. Stealing a living is right. Whereas now it's like
But they're
first
going to be
they
like, do not vote that in.
Did Higgins have a sweeper and 14 in front of him when he was marking you?
he did
No,
the
when Jimmy
first day.
scored 210.
Not
He
in the
did
replay.
he did the first day, but not in the replay, right? Not in that iconic replay when you both went toe to toe. Yeah, like I think, like Paddy, I think your point is right, right? Okay, it is rewarding attack and play, but it's also, I think, rewarding risk taking. Like that's the big one. It's actually
Long kick passing, direct play, fast
exactly
transitions. We all want to see that. I'm for the rules, and I'm surprised that they've been as well received. I thought there'd be a few contrarians coming out. No, they're not
there's a lot of people giving
perfect.
out. My mentions haven't stopped on Twitter in the last week. You know, there's a lot of people who just like giving out as well. You know,
Yeah,
But they
and
do have to
but
be debated. They have to be trashed out. They have to be debated because it's important. It's really
changing the
important. It's our game.
sport. It's
Yeah,
changing the
it's
sport.
our game.
So
But like, it'd be interesting to see how teams do coach it because we say long kicking definitely will suit some teams, the Donegals, the Kerrys, the Dublins, for long kick passing. Other teams will want to run it. And you know, there'll be more space for that. Like there's different avenues you can go down with this. So it is very exciting from a attacking point of view. I think it depends if are you pro change or are you conservative? I'm definitely in the change camp. Like let's do something to make this game better, 100%. But I wouldn't, I wouldn't jump to the 4-pointer because I think that
okay,
is more critical than people realize. The goal goes in on you, it could be fucking game over. Do you know what I mean?
and what
Like
if it
4 points is so many points.
it is
Like
right?
three,
But it is.
three.
But think of it this way, right? Okay, 4 points is so many points. Okay, but you can't just protect the goals now because there's a 2-pointer out in the arc.
Jim Gavin was on Sunday explaining this, and he's kind of the scores are complementary of each other. The 2 point is brought in, to drag people out, which creates space for the 4 pointer inside. I think they're all coming as a package. If the
Mm.
scoring changes come in, they're all going in. It's not going to be
It's
one, two, three.
yeah.
Um,
It's interesting what James is saying though, and I wonder, you know, the way Paddy they're talking about having a review process halfway through the year. It could be a case that they just say
to the
after the
National
week,
League and then say, no, we're going
let's go
back
to
for the
three,
provincial championships.
or maybe you start with
Maybe,
three and you go to four then. Like,
but
I just don't think
that's
we
the
can
point,
trial it
lads.
without seeing it in 2025. I don't think we'll
Yeah,
know. I don't think we'll know.
the sample
No.
size from the weekend is way too small. You can't make it
No.
solely, and that's what Congress are going to be voting on for fucking exhibition games. It's not enough of a sample size. Um, look, I think we have spoken at length, not just us, any commentary on the GAA, any supporters, any ex-players, coaches. The game is going to the fucking dogs, lads. People will stop watching it. And it has been getting worse and worse and
Mm.
worse. The reality is that conservative, safety first approach is what is bringing success to teams. That's why they're doing it.
It's
And I know
rewarded.
we're
Yeah.
we're kind of commentating on it at the highest level. This is happening at club games all over. This is happening underage club games all over the country because it works. Something drastic has to happen. That's why these have a massive chance of getting through.
Mm.
And 4 games in October in an exhibition tournament is not enough sample size. We spoke of I was all for getting rid of the preseason competitions. I liked that they're gone, but of all the years, it would have been useful just to get more exposure for these rules in January, and get all the teams playing it. Like if I'm thinking off the top of my head, these changes, they probably don't suit down the way they play running the ball. Donegal this year, I know they have kickers, but they played a very set running style. I think it will suit.
They could still do that though and just kick
Oh,
the 2-pointers more
they're
often. Do you know, it'll
if they're
still
long
kind of
range
play into
shooters,
that. Yeah.
I agree, but there's definitely
I
some
wonder.
teams where it's going to suit more. Some teams where it's going to be a very, very big shift in how they approach their attack. Coaches will have to try and figure out how do we stop. I know it's 3-on-3 inside, but where do we position guys so they can get back straight away? It's I'd like to see them come in.
I would, yeah,
Ideally.
I'm in that camp as
I,
well. What an
I think
opportunity.
we're at the end of our tether with what we've seen. And unless there's drastic changes, it's just going to carry on the same. People will stop watching these games.
What an opportunity it is for someone to win the All-Ireland, because
From
whoever
nowhere.
adapts
The
the
Harlem
most.
Globetrotters are going to win the All-Ireland next year.
No, but whoever adapts the most or comes up with the biggest change or the most
Yeah.
surprising way of attacking or just figures out the rules the quickest and adapts the best will win it.
Can
You
I,
know?
can I ask you a question? And whoever wants to hop in first, do. And it's a short enough answer. I've kind of heard through the grapevine that there's a player or two and probably more around the country that are waiting to make a decision on whether they'll go back playing intercounty football next year to see what rules get through. You know, an element of it is they may be deciding to go traveling, or maybe the bodies are getting that little bit older. If you were in that headspace at the minute and there was the potential of a new game to be played next year, would the excitement, the energy, and would that change your mind? Would you be excited to play under these rules?
Definitely. Oh, you'd be
I think
buzzing.
so, yeah.
I
think so,
would
yeah.
be lifting.
Just a
And
novelty of it.
Yeah, it's so different to
Yeah.
everyone has different opinion. A player to a manager to a spectator, everyone has a different angle, a different point of view. But like from a player's point of view, what a chance. What a chance to be kicking some amazing scores. New rules, new emphasis, no
Space.
safety, the space.
There will be space.
Yeah. It's going to be a game for probably good athletes as well. You know, maybe there won't be fellas playing as far into their 30s. It might be a mid-20s game with the amount of space out there.
Though. It's turning into a mid-20s game. But I will say one thing about that, and Paddy, I want to hear you then. Because Morris made the point in commentary that, you know, habits will change. Players will realise,
Of course,
how much we're going to need to save our high-speed running for a different point in the game. We need to kick this ball 40 yards and let it do the work for us. Paddy, would it excite you to be walking into a Dublin dressing room next year under these rules? Or would you be thinking of, we've done so well with what we've got over the last couple of years, let's just keep going?
no, I would say if you're in the way Dublin play and generally approach games, you would be excited about this. Like with Jimmy's point, it suits athletic players. It suits a team that tries to play on the front foot, and Dublin play that way. So, I predict as a forward, like I say, any forward around the country has got to be looking at this going, finally, it gives you an opportunity. Look at the All-Ireland final. Herbert, Walsh, these superstar players for the counties were just completely snuffed out of the games. There was no space. There was no space. So, if I had my Dublin hat on, I would be very excited about this opera. I think it would suit a Dublin team. Yeah.
Would it suit Paddy Andrews?
I wasn't that fast by the end of my career, but there were different stages of my career. I would have enjoyed it. Yeah.
And would you have made the case to extend the 2-point arc into the end line? Because I know you love that little sweet spot on the right inside the 20.
Yeah, well, out there that'd be nice now. Yeah, yeah, I would.
Okay.
I'd like that.
Do you know the 2-pointer, the arc? It's not that difficult to kick from the sides, I don't think.
It's all if you got the skills, it's all right. But
yeah, I think it's a manageable kick. I think there will be an awful lot of 2-pointers, an awful lot of them. I think fellas will.
Do you know what? I think there'll be an awful lot of fucking wides as well.
Yeah.
I think there'll be lads pulling the trigger, and you're like, "That was for a 2-pointer."
And what's the favourite shot in the football pod? The shot dropping short from distance. There'll be a lot of that as well, lads.
There'll be millions of goals going in. That's the best way to score a goal.
This year, anyway. James, sorry, I interrupted you there.
No, you didn't. No.
No, I think you're right. Like the arc itself, but if you extend it beyond the 45, there's not going to be many lads at Green O'Neill or Niall going to be driving it up from there. Or Diarmuid Connolly back in the day. Like the distance becomes so much bigger when you go out to the side there. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's perfect. It's perfect. I must say, I'm definitely all for it. The two main rules, as Paddy said, are the 2-pointer, the 2-pointer, and the 3-3. I definitely bring them in 100%. They will change the game, revolutionize it, freshen it up.
If they bring them in, Jimmy, they bring in the ball. They're the two big ones. So we're going to bring them in. You may as well bring the whole lot of them in.
There might be one or two that, like, we saw very few advanced marks at the weekend, right? And there was maybe one or two.
Yeah, I think that only suits. I don't know about that.
It's very hard to get it as well. To catch it inside the 21 from a kick outside the 45. There won't be many of them.
I think that's for the TikTok generation. They want to create these moments where these raspers of goals are being scored and rewarding that. So we'll see, does that one make it through?
The
But yeah,
only
look,
thing that can be that I don't want to see, and it happened the first night, and it just made me go, was the referee was blowing his whistle a lot. Now it could have been because he was mic'd up and you could hear the
That
whistle
was
about
fair. There
and
was
it
a
was
20
bit of that for
times
Sean.
there.
There
But
was a bit of
like
show in
you
that.
could, there
was
was
was that
so
the
much
second
referee
game?
involvement.
That's the second game where I think that was the whistle was definitely
It
very
was the Connacht
shrill.
game. Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
there was just a lot of referee interaction. Do you know, sometimes a game is so nice to watch when when the referee isn't noticed. So you just don't want the referee to be absolutely up to his eyeballs in these new decisions and everything going on. It's who'd be a ref? It's going to be a hard gig if they all come in from.
And would you like to keep the mic'd up ref? I think we could ride the faders a
Definitely,
bit, but it was
Yeah,
class.
yeah. Keep them in.
definitely,
What was your perspective on that,
definitely.
Paddy? I know you were listening in keenly on were you in a golf course somewhere?
Keep it in. You know, it's an interesting
Hmm.
development. Not in the evening. I was golfing during the day. No, I'd keep it in. Yeah, I think it's
Yeah, I think it's cool. I think it's transform. I suppose that cultural aspect of it as well. I think it'd be class. Um, Anything else, James? Then before we move on, anything else from the weekend itself? Like I personally thought, like, and I put this up, like I thought we got to see the likes of Leitrim's Barry McNulty, you know, thriving for Connacht. Scored a brilliant goal, a couple of great tackles. Looking at home amongst Division One players, Waterford had a class tweet up about their 4 players, and they had a great win this year earlier in the Munster Championship. Um, but they put up a tweet about their 4 lads. You had Sean Walsh, you had Conor Curran, you had Dermot Ryan, and you had Queeveen Walsh, who did a brilliant interview on Off the Ball earlier this year. Like, those counties clearly value it. You saw the Armagh boys together getting photos as well. There are counties, I think, and players that would love to see some version of the Railway Cup back. I know calendar wise and all that, there's way more important things. But could there be something? Could there be a world? Why can't I convince you on this?
I just don't like it. It's for nothing. I would rather play the Killarney 7-a-side with the lads,
I know,
honestly.
and I know
At
you're
least
speaking
then,
from the heart there.
because it's just what GA is about. I think it's like you play with for something to win. Do you know what I mean? With your
Mm,
with your team, mixing teams, nobody really cares. Do you know what the best thing of that was playing Crow Park for the lads? That's the
yeah,
thrill of it, and obviously the new rules.
it was
But
cool.
like
It was something different.
I don't think Aidan Shades, remember he did say on one of the road shows that if you did make it like a weekend of, but I mean that's a
a
long way off.
festival.
A festival that did sound appealing,
And that was
right?
like All Ireland final weekend, wasn't it? You know?
I
Yeah.
thought it was all right, lads. I think that's got a chance in the calendar.
Yeah, yeah, okay. Want to
Mm.
rattle through a couple of little stories here and jump in, if you want, lads. Uh, People in Westmeath not happy that their final finished on penalties. Can we not have a third replay? Losing a final on penalties is rough. That's James Grennan. So Lomans got the job done against the Downs. That was a big one. The Leitrim final replay was unreal. Went all the way to penalties. So you're getting the opposite, the opposite kind of response there from Queeveen and Leitrim. Crusher Law getting the job done, and Cavan played in a huge storm. A goal scored from the halfway line from Ronan, and then Killer McHugh was in touch. Some counties postponing finals, Longford and Armagh, and others went ahead despite the weather warning. Boys, if you were playing a county final and it was a big day, you know,
Mm.
your county hadn't, your club hadn't got over the line in a long time, and this is your moment, and next thing
It's
there was
tough.
an orange warning, right?
Yeah.
And it was 50-50, right? It went ahead in Dublin, but it did in Kerry. And it was moved on a week. And then a week later, maybe people had things planned, there was issues, and you had to figure out all the logistics there. Would you rather get the game done, or would you rather have called off at an hour's notice?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, as a
An
player,
hour's notice.
yeah,
Two
you're
hours
kind of ready
notice.
to
There you
play,
go.
aren't you? Like, generally, you'd want to play, but like conditions, like I watched the Dublin final. I'll tell you, it's very difficult. Jesus Christ, like the Gus. It's a tough one. As a player, generally, you'd be like, if you get that close to throwing, you'd be like, let's play this thing.
Mm.
But then if you're beaten, like say you're beaten, you don't play well. Conditions are so difficult. It's a bit of a downer. I don't know. Tough decisions for counties around. Plus the window's so small. We're straight into provincial championships. The counties even have time to just postpone it. Are they going to bring on a clog of fixtures now for whoever wins it goes into the provincial systems? But I don't know.
Yeah.
Not sure Jimmy.
I
If
suppose.
you're a forward and there's that wind,
Yeah.
lads, you can't even kick the ball.
Again, from a selfish point of view as a forward, do you want to be playing in a Gale where like you have to score from 15 yards out rather than wait
No.
for a better day? It also depends as your team, what kind of a team you have.
Yeah,
It's 50-50, but for pure selfish reasons, I'd have to double check maybe
yeah,
who we were playing.
yeah.
But I can see the frustration of it being called off, but if you lose on the
Like,
day of a Gale, it's it isn't really the best team winning then, but at the same time, maybe it shows other strengths, your character and your desire comes
yeah,
through
But,
better.
but
like
lads, it's not
Paddy.
new. How many times club season is
No,
played
I
at this
know.
time of year?
Of
There'll
course
be
it is.
way worse conditions
Yeah,
Mm.
over the next 8 weeks where games are played in monsoons and like what was it, the Dingle Castlehaven game? Was that the Munster Club?
yeah. That was
Was
reckless,
that the
man. Yeah,
final on penalties? It's
yeah.
Yeah.
insane.
It
Like
was
no way
incredible.
should that have went ahead.
Yeah.
But
Damien
what
Callanan
we
did the hammer, I think, celebrating the
yeah,
penalties.
what we seen yesterday,
But
it happens every year, and we're gonna see worse over the next 7 or 8 weeks.
there was so the Meath final was mad, right? So the wind was insane. So Woltones had the wind in the second half. I think they were chasing their fourth ever title up against a Dunshaughlin team, very young, won an intermediate 2 years ago. Um, Matthew Costello, brilliant young footballer from Meath, had a free in his own half back line. I'm not sure if you saw this.
Saw it, yeah.
And wily old Fox Keen Ward nicks in and buries it, right? Goes up the other end of the field. So Woltones are winning now with a couple minutes to go. And a free drop short, and Costello gets a tone and puts it into the goals and ends up leading Dunshaughlin to victory. But he had a free with about 10 minutes to go, top of the D, not even top of the D, it was about 20 yards out, right? But the wind was coming at him. And the ball goes over the bar and ends up by the sideline. That's where the wind brought it to. But so it goes over the bar and it's waved over. Mick Fitzsimons' point, Paddy. I'm not talking about the one where he fists it over. But you know the other one where it goes
Yeah,
over and next thing the
yeah.
storm whips it nearly out of the
Literally
stadium.
out of the stadium. Like,
Was
yeah,
that
yeah.
over? Was that over the bar? Yeah.
50-50.
I don't know.
I come here.
What about Mick Fitz scoring the most Mick Fitz point ever after hand passing the ball to himself over Mannion's head? No,
Under
like,
14
what just
stuff.
happened there?
Would he
He's
be doing
got-
that in
I've seen him
training?
do that. I have seen him do that a few times before.
Are you serious?
Yeah, hand passing the ball to himself.
Yeah.
There's innovation. Bring that in as a rule change.
That has to go as well, yeah. That can
The
go.
hand pass to yourself.
Yeah.
Well,
Vintage Fitzy, to be fair to him.
yeah, there's a very talented player in Clare who does that and he does the draw fouls, but I think referees have kind of copped onto it a bit that he does it when he's on a long run and two fellas are coming in and converging.
When
on
he's
him.
running out of rows, yeah.
He's running out of road, but he got away with it for a while. And I think they've copped onto it a bit.
But sure, it's legal. They can't. How do you mean cop onto
Yeah,
it?
it's legit. Like.
Yeah, well, I don't know. They're not giving it to him anymore. I've just seen him not get it 2 or 3 times. Can I talk about Meath Hill for a minute?
The team.
This your original club or
Yes, the
Okay.
club that I left, club that I deserted
Okay.
back in
For
the day a
Cratloe.
couple of years ago for Cratloe.
Okay.
Yeah, so
But they had a bit of success, so now you're claiming them
yeah,
back.
so now I'm
That's
going
the
back
first
now.
time. It's the first time I've ever heard you say that club's name. Like, you've completely
Yeah.
forgotten about him
It's
until
just
this year.
Cratloe
But not
this,
not
Cratloe that.
yeah,
and now
but
it's
but
Meath
I
Hill.
found I literally I found a club wearing the same colours, right? So that's what I did. Meath Hill lads, this was unbelievable on Saturday. Like it was 12 o'clock in the day for a game. Not sure what you think about that, but it definitely suited the celebrations afterwards. They had never won an intermediate title before, never played senior, had been in one intermediate final in their lives, won 2 juniors back in the day. We won one in 2017. They just got over the line the last day. It was absolutely unbelievable. So just wanted to give a little shout out to them. I'll have to send you on a couple of clips, James. You'll have appreciated some of the scores from Gary Breslin and Shane McCabe and even Damien Turley coming up from cornerback, burying one over the bar. So unbelievable stuff from the lads this weekend. A big story in Kerry, James. Anthony Maher came out of retirement.
For Duo,
Yeah. What happened there?
to win. Oh, I didn't even know he was playing until I saw that he was tagged and playing. But what a player!
Mm.
What a player! An athlete as well. But
And the one
gotten
to
into
Kerry,
the coaching recently, but
yeah, he's coaching up Limerick. The one to Kerry junior final.
yeah. But having a player like that at that level, his size, physique, ball winning,
No,
serious operator. One of the best teammates you could have as well. Such an intelligent player, intelligent person.
Yeah.
Always spoke sense, and then silky skills as well. What a combo! So yeah, congrats to them.
Yeah, fair play to them. That's class. Loads of great stories over the weekend. I'm just going through a couple of Instagram stories there. The Meath Hill lads are into day 3. What was the best post win week you had? How long did it go on?
Oh, not one. I think only the 2 days after you won the club, 2011, Sunday, Monday.
Yeah, the boys had a
Uh,
Saturday final, so that's they kind of add that
extra
extra bit.
day is
Yeah,
nice. Early All Ireland wins when I was only a young buck and could do 5 or 6 days on the trot. I'm a long, long way from that now, lads. Jesus Christ.
and would you stay in Dublin for it, or would you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went to New York after the 5 in a row.
Oh yes. Okay.
That was
That
an that
that
was that
extended
was
that one.
that was an aggressive week, but also one of the great weeks.
Yeah, you had the fake Sam Maguire with you as well, didn't you?
No, we know Sam Maguire in that one.
Okay.
No,
Well, that
no,
was the
we
Sam Maguire that got
left
lost in
him
the
behind.
taxi.
I wasn't on that one.
You weren't on that one. Okay.
I'd be far more responsible than that.
I know you would. James, your best one. Next weekend's final, have a bank holiday Monday to look forward to afterwards. They've obviously got the midterm, so it's going to suit a lot of people.
That would be nice. I suppose obviously when we won it, we had a couple of very good
After,
after even Munster finals and things like that, where you'd have a month or 5 weeks off, and it would
yeah,
be a good chance to do a bit of bonding. What about after the Legion won the O'Donoghue Cup in
that's what I was going to
2019?
ask you.
I'll tell you what,
A
we took the
a
cup.
month long
We
session.
took the cup to the schools.
Did you? You done a hookup?
As I tell you, it was
That's what they
the
want to
fucking
see.
greatest week of all time.
Inspiring
That's
the
what they
next
want to
It was
see.
generation.
comical. It was brilliant though. Brilliant. Oh,
That's
but
class.
sure, winning a trophy with your club hits different. Like hits
Yeah,
so different.
yeah, it's amazing.
Um, but yeah, I suppose yeah, they're great. They're great. They bring you so much closer as a team as well, which is the important thing. Like the more you win, the more you will win. I think because you just get tighter.
Yeah, but it's like just I've spoken about Meath Hill a lot the last couple of days, but growing up, it was a junior club, right? And you're in a small little pocket in the country. And just for all the young fellas and young girls in that club now, they're walking into a senior club. Like it is transformative for clubs that haven't had that success before to be able to now build on that and grow with it. So
Mm.
that's class. So whenever the lads get off the beer on Thursday this week, they might start looking at a Leinster, back at Leinster as well. So enjoy it, boys. Loads of other finals this weekend. Couple of big ones to look forward to this weekend coming. There was a good few postponed. The Armagh final was postponed. We've got a very special episode. I've left it very late to plug it. A very special episode that we recorded last week. AI Bree brought us up to the Carrickdale Hotel. Well, Paddy
Mm.
brought James, and I brought myself. But
Thanks, Paddy.
AIB are helping
Always,
us put on
Jimmy.
a brilliant series this winter where we'll be speaking to some really interesting people. I'm going to just say it now. I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to reveal it yet, but we've got Connor Turbot and Aidan Forker with us, telling us the story of winning Sam Maguire, and loads of other bits and pieces in there as well. Lads, it was class, wasn't it?
Go chat with the lads. Like I said, I played against Aidan Falker. I hadn't played against Turbin, obviously, but
The Forker market.
oh mate, like, yeah, possibly. We would have played them a couple of times. More National League. I don't think we played our man the championship would have been before in 2010. I think his debut was 2012,
It
isn't
was, yeah. Were you
it?
both
Yeah,
playing in that
yeah.
infamous challenge game? No,
Mm,
I should have brought that
probably,
up.
yeah. I'd
Should have
say
brought
we
that up.
were.
I forgot to bring that up.
That's Omerta, say nothing. Um,
I'd say
no, it
Falker
was
was stuck in that.
right in the mix now. Yeah. No, just cool to hear from the lads, and you could see they're buzzing after this and what it
Yeah.
meant for them, the people in Armagh, for only the second ever time. So it was really cool to chat to the lads. They've got a lovely couple of weeks and months ahead of them. Turbot obviously has to try and get through the
Yes.
club stuff first and foremost, but no, it was really cool to catch up with the two boys.
Yeah, that's an All Ireland
Turbot
final.
Turbot seems like a lovely fella, isn't he? Such an easygoing,
Yeah,
relaxed.
a nice contrast between the two lads.
Yeah,
It's cool.
such an
Like,
Tell you
easygoing,
what,
relaxed, confident, just top fella.
and
when
what's your
we're talking
great?
about these rules, if we're talking about these rules, I don't think Aiden was mad for them, but Connor Turbot, Connor Turbot was loving them.
Hey,
So
Yeah.
let's see.
Forker swung its few 2-pointers the other night as well.
He does easy. He's a 2 point
Yeah.
merchant now going forward, definitely. Yeah.
No, it's brilliant. The lads spent over an hour with us, and you get a really good insight into even the different personalities in that Armagh team because, like, Turbott's young, like Aiden's been through it, and I think he was Chris and Mini Geezer at one stage as well. So you're going to get to see what makes these Armagh boys tick. And it was really great spending time in their company. So thanks a million to the lads for joining us for that. Yeah, there's more finals this weekend. The Clare Senior Football Final is this weekend. We've got the Derry Senior Football Final. We have got the Kerry Final this weekend, right? We've got the Galway Final. The Longford game was postponed. That's on this weekend. Abilara and Colmkills. Fermanagh Final is this weekend. The Mayo Final has been postponed to this weekend. We've got the Monaghan Final, Scotstown against Clibbert. That'll be interesting. Padraig Pearses went and won the Roscommon title again, the third time in their history. So best of luck to the boys there. I know they were celebrating late last night. And Lockmore Castleiney completed the double in Tipperary.
The double.
Some going. And they won a Premier Junior the day beforehand. Like they must be having some crack in Tipperary. So that's class. I just want to mention this, lads. Brian Smith got in touch on Twitter. Tommy, any chance you might give us a mention? Sarsfield's GA Newbridge. We won the junior championship tonight, and we did so in honour of our former player, Niall MacDonald, who passed away tragically on New Year's Day. Niall was on our team last year, and we lost the final by just a point. We got back together this year, and we bet Carberry in the final tonight for him. So, just to say, well done, lads. Yeah, and
fair play, boys.
Very tough story.
Well
so, best of luck to them, and best of luck to all the teams enjoying themselves tonight. Nice to catch up on the rules, lads. I hope you all enjoyed the episode with the Armagh boys this week, and we'll have a couple of very interesting episodes coming for you over the next little while. Last one, very last one. Dermot McCabe has been appointed in Westmeath, Cavan legend. He's brought Mark McHugh with him as a coach. Paddy, he's got a big job ahead of him in a very competitive division too, but that's a decent ticket there, right?
Yeah, surprisingly, Luke Desi Donald stepped away, so like I said, there'll be a lot of managerial merry-go-rounds over the next couple of weeks. Probably didn't see that one coming. Mark McHugh, who obviously was with the Rossies, took a step back, is back in the inter-county game. So there's potential at Westmeath. They finally got up from Division 3 into Division 2, but like I said, that is a very, very competitive division. I know there's a bit of chat around the McCabe. He's still involved with the Cavan County Board as well. There's a bit of their own interest to see what their thoughts are on that. But yeah, there'll be plenty of focus on new inter-county setups over the next month or two.
Yeah, James, Mark Dorn, who I would have spoken about 2 weeks ago, being heavily linked with the Derry job, had previously coached Clare and Wicklow with Oisin McConville and Colin Collins, is now Davy Burke's right-hand man in Roscommon, added to that coaching team. Porrick Joyce revealed last week that he has confirmed the coach, but he didn't tell us who, and that he might be adding a second member to his backroom team. Obviously, Cian O'Neill had departed and gone to Kerry. So it'll be interesting to see who he adds to his ticket. Clare.
That's a big appointment.
That's a massive appointment. Massive appointment. Like, you know, that
they'll feel that void, I think, go away.
Yeah, they have to.
They'll feel the
they'll feel it.
They'll have to feel it, but they'll feel it, I think, more than they'll even realise. Like it's such an important job, that football coaching job, on top of the manager's job. You have to get the right person.
It's massive.
Be interested to see how they get
on. Derry, still no word. Clare,
yeah,
might get word this week. And Leitrim, lots of interest in the job, I'm hearing, but nothing confirmed yet. So we'll wait and see what happens there. The Football Pod is brought to you every week with thanks to AIB, proud sponsors of the Camogie, Football, Hurling, and Ladies Football All-Ireland Club Championships. Check out #the toughest for more. Paddy Andrews, James O'Donoghue, thanks very much for spending your Monday evening with us. And to everybody listening at home, thanks for tuning in.
Great to see you, boys, as always.
Slán, lads, let's catch up soon. There may be a brave new world of Gaelic football to get excited about for 2025. I think we could all do it a bit of that. Could we? A bit of something to...
Yeah, a little bit of sparkle. Bring a little bit of sparkle back.
Nice one, lads. Be good.
All right, boys.